A pleasant evening, and thank you so very kindly that you join us for King's News Broom, King's 88.5. I'm Sam Andrews. The top stories: Criminal Court C for Montserrat County assumed jurisdiction over two senior officials of Moravia Consolidated School System following the issuance of an indictment and a writ of arrest by the grand jury of Montserrat. The president of Sino County Bar Association, Councillor Jalate Seyon, threatened legal action against the management of the National Port Authority if what it described as unlawful appointment at Greenville Port is not immediately corrected. Criminal Code A issues a writ of subpoena ordering the management of Building Materials Center to appear and produce detailed financial and contractual records relating to the construction of Cloud Hope Foundation, a high-profile project now under scrutiny. Away from Liberia, Uganda's opposition leader Bobby Wine has told the BBC he would not contest the results of Thursday's election in court, citing lack of confidence in the judiciary, and has instead urged his supporters to take to the streets to protest peacefully. These are the top stories. The news bulletin is up next. Let's join Kwame Brown for the news bulletin.
The First Judiciary Circuit Court, Criminal Code C of Montserrat County, has assumed jurisdiction over two senior officials of the Monrovia Consolidated School System following the issuance of an indictment and writ of arrest by the grand jury of Montserrat. According to court records, the writ of arrest was issued on December 30th, 2025, under the hand and seal of the court, charging Cabino Keita, insurance broker of the Monrovia Consolidated School System, and Madame Sontia Dakan, Director of Curriculum Development and Instruction at the Monrovia Consolidated School System, with felony offenses. The defendants are facing 3 criminal charges: money laundering, bribery, and criminal conspiracy, all of which fall within the prosecutorial mandate of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. According to our judicial correspondent, both defendants have been arrested and brought before Criminal Code C, where they are currently held under the court's jurisdiction in accordance with due process of law. In a statement issued Tuesday, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission said the indictment followed a grand jury indictment. The president of the Sino County Bar Association, Councillor Jalate Seyon, has threatened legal actions against the management of the National Port Authority over what he describes as an unlawful appointment at the Greenville Port is not immediately corrected. Speaking in an interview with King's Evan reporter from abroad, Councillor Seyon challenged the NPA's decision to appoint former Senator J. Milton Tiaji as director of the Sino County Port. He noted that Senator Tiaji, who is 70-year-old, has exceeded the statutory retirement age and therefore cannot lawfully occupy the position classified as a civil service post. According to Councillor Seyon, former Senator Tiaji, who also previously served as Superintendent of Sino County and Deputy Minister of Information, who has reportedly been engaged by the NPA as a consultant while allegedly performing the full operational duties of the port director at the Greenville Port. The Solidarity and Trust for the New Day stand has condemned what it describes as raising human rights abuses under the Bouakai-led government and announced plans to intensify resistance through civil disobedience. Reading a press statement on Monday, stand chairperson Moluba Molu accused state security institutions of violating both domestic and international human rights standards, citing provisions of the Universal Declarations of Human Rights and Child Rights instruments. It alleged that recent actions by law enforcement and national security actors reflect a pattern of impunity and disregard for the rule of law. Moru criticized the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police as got recruitment concerning Bryant McGill, insisting that McGill remains a wanted rape suspect. He argued that no administrative or illegal pronouncement by the police leadership can nullify criminal liability, stressing that only a court of competent jurisdiction can determine innocence or guilt. According to Molu, testimonies and other evidence exist that warrant judicial review of the case. Criminal Code A has issued a writ of subpoena to Centrum ordering the management of Building Material Center to appear and produce detailed financial and contractual records related to the constructions of the Clark Hope Foundation, a high-profile project now under scrutiny. The order, issued under the November term of court and signed by Code Clerk Gabriel J. Smith, stems from a petition filed by the Assessed and Property that's Access and Property Retrieval Task Force chairperson, that's Councillor Edwin Martin. The task force is seeking access to the wide range of documents believed to be in BMC's possession. According to the rate, BMC's general manager, that chief executive officer, stakeholders, and all those items under the authorities I commended to the appear before Judge Roosevelt Z. Willie, the resident circuit judge of Criminal Code A, on Friday, January 23 at 10 o'clock a.m. The Ministry of Health has taken a major step forward in addressing neglected tropical disease with the validations of the Gentle Strategic Plan held in Pequeno. The high-level workshop brought together health professionals, partners, and members of the media to strengthen a national commitment to combating one of the country's most overlooked public health challenges. Speaking with reporters at the ongoing workshop, the acting Director General of Neglected Tropical Diseases, Anthony Betty, emphasized the importance of the strategic plan as a landmark policies framework designed to guide national response efforts. He noted that the validation exercise was intentionally organized to ensure both stakeholders' ownership, technical accuracy, and alignment with global best practices. He added that the policy would integrate efforts across key divisions, including family health and national tropical diseases program, mental health, and other related health programs. Betty highlighted that individuals who rely heavily on water for daily livelihood, such as fishing, farming, and washing, are at heightened risk due to frequent exposure to contaminated water bodies. The Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia has shut down several substandard mineral water facilities over what it described as environmental and public health concerns. The, the action by the EPA followed by the rigorous inspection and enforcement exercise targeting mineral water production facilities in Monrovia, citing environmental safety and public health risks. The operation, led by the EPA's Inspectorate Division, aims to ensure that water bottling and plastic companies comply with environmental regulations, including proper waste disposal, hygienic production processes, and protection of groundwater sources. A member of the ruling Unity Party in Magibe County, Jario Joe, had declared support for opposition coalition for democratic change, citing dissatisfaction and inhuman treatment by his former party. Speaking with reporters in Kakata City Tuesday, he expressed dissatisfaction uh, with what he describes as inhuman treatment by the United Party, announcing his resignation from the party and declaring his unwavering support for the Coalition for Democratic Change. According to him, the dedication to the party included significant personal sacrifices, particularly during the 2023 general and presidential elections campaign activities. He further claimed that although he received a small amount of money at a later stage, it was insufficient to cover his expenses. He noted that he has raised several concerns with the party's leadership, including the office of the Secretary General, but was allegedly informed that no assistance was available. Jude expressed frustration that all efforts to seek redress failed, as head of the party do not want help him since the election. President Joseph Boakai has emphasized the need for deliberate and sustained action to advance Liberia's infrastructure development. Speaking at the opening of the National Infrastructure Conference in Limba County, President Boakai said the conference was convened out of deep concern over the persistent deterioration and unsightly condition of the country's national infrastructure. He noted that the conference highlights the urgent social and economic necessity for international investment and reforms within Liberia's infrastructure setup. The president further stressed that infrastructure development should go beyond physical structures, underscoring its direct impact on citizens' dignity, national pride, and future for the country. Former Minister for Public Works, Honorable Ruth Coker Collins, raised concerns over what she termed as her exclusion from the ongoing National Infrastructure Conference organized by the government of Liberia through the Ministries of Public Works in Limba County. In an open letter addressed to the current Minister of Public Works, Roland Giddings, former Minister Collins described her omission as concerning, particularly in light of her professional background as a career engineer and her role as the immediate past minister responsible for overseeing key infrastructure policies and programs. She emphasized that infrastructure development is a continuous national process that should transcend political administrations and party affiliation. According to Collins, national infrastructure conferences should prioritize collective expertise, institutional ceremony, that's memory, and professional continuity rather than being limited by the administrative transition. In a related development, the former Public Works Minister, Madam Ruth Coker Collins, had described the graduation ceremony of over 100 women and youth from Tabeta Vocational Training Institute as historical. Speaking at the close of the vocational training program held in Riverside County over the weekend, Madam Coker Collins said the ceremony is more than a celebration of academic success. According to her, the program represents a meaningful transformation driven by skills development and emphasized that government support for vocational education remains a vital pillar in promoting national development and self-resilience. She further encouraged the graduates to uphold excellence wherever they find themselves and to deeply apply their knowledge responsibly for the benefit of their families, communities, and the nation at large. And the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, Brown County Detachment, has arrested several persons with drugs worth over 200 United States dollars and 50,000 Liberian dollars. Speaking with reporters following the arrest, the LDEA Brown County Detachment Commander Jose confirmed that a suspected drugs dealer was arrested on January 15, 2025 near the St. John River community. Commander said explained that the arrest followed intelligence-led operations conducted by LDEA officers aimed at cooping the circulations of illegal drugs within communities across Brown County. According to say, the suspect was apprehended while in possession of illegal substances believed to be intended for distribution.
Kwame Brown with the news bulletin. A reminder that you are tuning to King's Newsroom, King's 88.5 at 6. I'm Sam Andrews. A reminder of the top stories. Criminal Court C. Montserrat County assumes jurisdiction over two senior officials of Montserrat Consolidated School System following the issuance of an indictment and writ of arrest by the grand jury of Montserrat. The president of Sino County Bar Association, Councillor Gillette Sayan, threatens legal action against the management of the National Port Authority if what he describes as unlawful appointment at Greenville Port is not immediately corrected. Criminal Court A issues a writ of subpoena ordering the management of Building Material Center to appear and produce detailed financial and contractual records related to the construction of Claho Foundation, a high-profile project now under scrutiny. Away from Liberia, Uganda opposition leader Bobby Wine tells the BBC he will not contest the results of Thursday's elections in court, citing lack of confidence in the judiciary, and has instead urged his supporters to take to the streets to protest peacefully. The voices of the newsmakers up next. The Ministry of Health has taken a major step forward in addressing neglected tropical diseases with the validation of the Genital Strategic Plan in Buchanan. The high-level workshop brought together health professionals, partners, and members of the media to strengthen national commitment to combating one of the country's most overlooked public health challenges. Speaking with reporters at the ongoing workshop, the acting director general of neglected tropical diseases, Anthony Batty, emphasized the importance of the strategic plan as a landmark policy framework designed to guide national response efforts.
So we are here purposely to validate a policy on a condition called female genital schistosomiasis and male genital schistosomiasis or genital schistosomiasis policy that the ministry is developing. And this policy is the first of its kind globally. We have an integrated policy that we have developed to include other departments like the Family Health Division, National AIDS Control Program, Community Health, Nursing Division, Mental Health, and all those programs that I have work that are related to genital schistosomiasis. We developed plans to make sure that we address the need of women and men that are affected with this, who are living in areas that are endemic for schistosomiasis, more especially schistosoma hematobium in our country. So it's a disease that affects men and women and children. So in men, when they urinate, sometimes the bottom will come with blood. The women sometimes they have the charges, they have issue of the private part, and then continue issue nurses come fill up the mouth. So we try to treat these people, and then this disease is actually caused by snail. Very small snail in fresh water. So it's where they live, and then affects more people when you get people who go engaging fishing, bathing, washing clothes in those contaminated water. Schistosomiasis, what's happening is that you have bloody stool. Sometimes you have bloody urine after urination of body worker with blood, and then you have sometimes the standard abdomen. More especially for schistosoma mastocytosis is another one that affects the intestine, but the one we are dealing with here is the one that affects the urinary tract. So for urinated schistosomiasis, for passive contact to treat people who are affected with the disease in water, washing, bathing, fishing. So most of the people you live, people that live in the area that are affected, more especially born local Lima and Maryland County, to also create develop mechanisms that will go into the community to create more awareness about schistosomiasis and genital schistosomiasis and then women who are affected.
The acting director general of neglected tropical diseases at the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Anthony Batty. The Solidarity and Trust for a New Day stand has condemned what it described as rising human rights abuses under the Borga-led government and announced plans to intensify resistance through civil disobedience. Reading a press statement Monday, stand chairman Molba Molo accused state security institutions of violating both domestic and international human rights standards, citing provisions of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and Rights Instrument.
Credibly accused of sexual violence, including the recent sodomy case involving a minor. It condemns the discriminatory application of evidentiary standards that places politically connected suspects above the law. This practice constitutes a violation of the Liberian Constitution, the Convention of the Rights of the Child, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. No police authority has a constitutional mandate to pronounce guilt or innocence in criminal matters. Only a court of competent jurisdiction may determine liability. Any attempt by law enforcement to substitute judicial authority undermines due process and public confidence in justice institutions. Despite the police controversial pronouncement, the accused individual remains publicly indicted in a court of public conscience, supported by medical records and testimonial evidence. Administrative declarations cannot erase the trauma inflicted on a 14-year-old child whose life has been permanently altered by rape. Justice delayed or denied in cases of sexual violence constitutes second-degree victimization and state complicity.
The chairperson of the civil society organization Solidarity and Trust for a New Day, Molba Molu, a member of the ruling Unity Party, Magibi County, Jarua Joe, has declared support for the opposition Congress for Democratic Change, citing dissatisfaction in inhuman treatment by his former party. Speaking with reporters in Calcutta City Tuesday, Jaro expressed dissatisfaction with what he described as inhumane treatment by Unity Party, announcing his resignation from the party and declaring his unwavering support for the Congress for Democratic Change.
In year 2023, I party for the sake of the party. The county chair brought me here.
Who's the county chair?
Cecilia Kesedi Do.
All right.
My daily chapter.
All right.
She looked at me by my look when Joseph Baga first entering here. She said, I'm government child. And OJ Governor spoke English to me.
Who is OJ?
OJ Governor, the current superintendent who they beat me in Wiala for a business. And again, I made sure today he becomes superintendent because the superintendent position will come to Sangatua or that of and the Kesedi Do, Cecilia Do. But due to some circumstances, we 40 and got a job.
Okay. So for how long you have been a member of the Unity Party?
All right. From 2005 to this time, I worked as a Grand Bassa for Western Milton Philip. I came back to Mosorado, Cecilia Kesedi and Java Rising, V Rising. I running for senator. They brought me back. Second work for the country. I had a megaphone. When Cecilia brought me yesterday, get down, do the work. I slept to Junction the first day. They never rented the first day. I slept to EFW Junction where they get an entertainment center.
You slept in
with
the
my microphone.
Okay.
All
right.
In my hand. Second day, I brought one travel, one share. Who called the concert was Sagi Fremo. I had Sagi Fremo let me go and introduce you to John Boy, the campaign chairman at the time.
Okay.
I John Boy met me to my banner because Nyomi Kanga, Jeremiah Kun, Joseph Barra on a banner. They gave me some money. I went and printed their own. I had to send me to the party headquarters where OJ Moro was serving as Secretary General. I went there. The first thing they told me, we ain't had nothing, but we'll find you $10 error around 200 place. I was there for the 6 months. 6 months finished. No money to rent again. They brought me to the party headquarters. I do all the maintenance, doing everything. You want to go to OJ Moro for 500 of us, so around the only person for Unity Party. Automo Sofra. What made me disenchanted for Unity Party? I said, me didn't get nothing right to give me. We can't go that long. Everything I express in that call, I will talk to them on the media. I got witnesses in the 42 community before the one community are there today. I will say this to tell you, my very first day to meet my auditor, the cheerleader for CDC.
Okay.
She at a market. She met me. She said, what are you doing currently? I said, nothing. I said, even the Christmas day, one couple of OJ Murray told me that I didn't get fat out to give me.
Why are you only blaming the superintendent?
Because everybody I relate to, they say, I put the superintendent in power.
You put the superintendent in power?
Yes, I protest for him place to place. But I want to say this, every hurricane of Unity Party, they banned for about 200 cars. It was because the party win. Even the development superintendent, B. Louis Khan, he was not speaking to me because I protest in Wiara. It went loud.
You protest for what?
I protest because OJ Murray lose a superintendent job when federal
Louis Khan never wanted. Are you disappointed?
I'm disappointed today. I want to say to the public, let it go loud. Nobody call me JMB again.
Mangibi County Jawara Joe announcing his defection from the ruling Unity Party and entry into the opposition Congress for Democratic Change. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Bond County Detachment has arrested several persons with drugs worth over 200 United States dollars and 40,000 Liberian dollars. Speaking with reporters following the arrest, LDEA Bond County Detachment Commander Joseph Say confirmed that a suspected drug dealer was arrested on January 15, 2025 near St. John River Community.
I just want to let people of Broom County, especially in Banga City, to know that the issue of drugs, which we came here to fight, we are making tremendous efforts in succeeding. Sunday, the 17th of January 2026, in one of the rural factory community, in a yard that is popularly known by the drugs users that they call a floor yard, while men were patrolling one of the potential setups. A woman by the name of Sarah Polly, 18 years old, who usually served the Polly which she served for the father of father, been teaching her, and then she was taking over the business. She was apprehended while the men were on a patrol. The men were transacting with a drug user. They all fleeing at her scattered. She threw the drugs in whole bathroom that is no longer being used, and the officers spotted her. They went and discovered the drugs, apprehended her, and brought her for investigation. And again, since Sarah Colley was arrested November 15, 2025. And in the process, she threw the drugs in Joro River. She destroyed evidence. We brought her, investigated her, in fact, or we investigated her, and she was signed for because the evidence was destroyed. There was no evidence to have her prosecuted. So she was signed for by one Richard Tate, and again she was arrested. In the process, of father who had been arrested here previously by LDA some years back came carrying on all kind of threats. He is a UBL official, and nothing will happen to daughter if she were to send to court. If he's a man, is where she is going to prove himself. He did not even stop there. While even going on last night, he was behind my car with a motorbike, telling me, say, he had discovered the gas that I made it, so I'm going to feed his weight. He came back with one of my officers, said, no way your boss can living. If you send my daughter to court, he will go in Broom County here. This morning, he met two of my officers with the same statement, making it to them. But we just got him, and I'm taking him to the police. And that issues will be handled by police. Because I believe that he is vexed while his daughter always been chased by LDA. And that's our primary duty here, to fight drugs.
Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, Broom County Detachment Head Joseph Say confirming the arrest of several persons with drugs at over 200 United States dollars and 40,000 Liberian dollars. If you just tune in, you are watching and listening to King's Newsroom, King's 88.5 at 6, with me, Sam Andrews. The top stories: Criminal Court C, Montserrat County assumes jurisdiction over two senior officials of the Moravia Consolidated School System following the issuance of an indictment and a writ of arrest by the grand jury of Montserrat County. The president of Sino County Bar Association, Councilor Gelate, say threatened legal action against the management of the National Port Authority if what he describes as unlawful appointment at Greenville Port is not immediately corrected. Criminal Court A issues a writ of subpoena ordering the management of building materials store to appear and produce detailed financial and contractual records relating to the construction of Clahope Foundation, a high-profile project now under scrutiny. Uganda opposition leader Bobby Wine has told the BBC he will not contest the results of Thursday's election in court, citing lack of confidence in the judiciary, and instead urged his supporters to take to the streets to protest peacefully. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Former Public Works Minister Ruth Coker Collins has described the graduation ceremony of over 100 women and youth from